wanted to evaluate the success of the Lax for Leukemia event now that it's over and everyone went home and everything. Looking how
Well, the results for the Lax for Leukemia was awesome in numerous ways. And first of all, it was the awareness of leukemia and what we need to do to support their mission to help come up with some answers hopefully down the road, and two, to raise some money to help that mission. We were very successful on campus of selling over 600 t-shirts. We had a silent auction that raised another $3,000 or $4,000. So I think our take for the event was a little over $7,000 that we raised for Lax for Leukemia, and brought great awareness that day. Besides those two things, you know, we wore special uniforms representing the orange and the support for Lax for Leukemia. So overall, it was a great day. You know, Alex scored a goal in the game, which was really good, an awesome thing for him to get his first goal of the season, and we had a great win.
I agree. Can you discuss any opportunities possibly that you may think could improve future events for Lax?
Well, I think we added one thing this year. We kind of collaborated with the lacrosse group out of Ocean City. Their youth tournament was on Sunday, and we had some guys down there with Alex and Sam Bradman signing autographs and selling t-shirts, and I think we raised another $1,000 on Sunday for Lax for Leukemia. That was all kind of part of that one weekend. That was another thing that we kind of added to the event this year. You know, that was one thing. So each year we try to do a little something, a little bit more, maybe to raise a few more funds and bring a little bit more awareness to leukemia. But that was our addition this year, and you know, we'll get to a think tank after the season's over and come up with some ideas between the parents and Alex and some of the players and coaches and captains about what we could do to maybe make it even bigger and better next year.
Did you achieve your fundraising goal based on the event expenses versus the revenue?
Yeah, it's one of those things, you know, somewhere between, you know, 7,500 and 15,000 is kind of, you know, give or take, you know, what we kind of want to be able to raise on any given year. The game, it's sometimes the game being a little bit bigger game and more people in the stands helps sell a few more t-shirts. Our kids definitely did a great job on campus hawking over 600 t-shirts. That's a lot of t-shirts. And so we definitely met our mission there. The parents did a good job with the silent auction items. You know, I think that if a game has 300 in the stands versus a game that has 2,000 in the stands, which had happened the year or two before, you know, the number of t-shirts and the amount of donations, it becomes a little bit more. So it's a little bit, you know, depending on what home game it is on that Saturday, you know, that can help increase the revenue.
How does this year's revenue compare to last year's?
This year's revenue was down a little bit. I think we had a few more silent auction items last year. Again, I think we had a bigger game that day. We sold a little bit more on site, you know, on that day. But overall, I think that you know, this was it was well run. I think this is going to be more consistent a number as far as the money on a yearly basis versus maybe one or two of the first years when it was a little distorted because we had some big individual donations. A couple of parents actually threw $1,000 in themselves towards Lax for Leukemia. You know, I don't think that that's something that's going to happen on a regular basis.
Just a couple more questions. What did you like best about the from a fundraising?
Well, I mean, it was good that we had a lot of people that were helping. You know, the Chad Sermon, our assistant coach, kind of led up the charge of the T-shirts, along with Matt McGinnis, our assistant AD. You know, so they took care of the T-shirt order. Chad and the assistant coaches and the captains coordinated the selling of the T-shirts, and the volunteers from the team, and each guy on the team had to give a couple hours towards it, and so he helped coordinate that. Mo Neves kind of coordinated the parents and the silent auction and put together that stuff, along with the shares, who are our parent leaders of our parents group. And then Chad also coordinated with the lax leukemia people to get them on site that day. So there was a lot of people in a collaborative effort that allowed the whole day to come off to be a success.
Great, and I think it was. What, if anything, did you like the least about the event, if anything?
I think all was good. You know, it was well run. You know, we were able to do a fundraiser and bring awareness, but at the same token, we were still able to put our focus on the mission of the game as coaches, because it was a collaborative effort, and that's extremely important in anything that you try to do with a game. As a coach, you want to make awareness and do things, but you never want it to take away from your preparation, and I think because it was a great collaborative effort by a number of people, that our preparation was excellent for that day, and, you know, allowed us, the coaches, to coach instead of being tied up in a lot of other things that sometimes happens in those events if you don't get good support and good collaboration.
What auction items do you think were the most appealing?
I'm not sure what the one. I think the 2 rounds of golf at Congressional was the most appealing. I think it went for almost $500 and some. That was donated by a former alumni, Tommy Coles, who was a defenseman here back in the I think the 2003-2004 era, when we won a couple championships. Tommy's actually a member of Congressional and has donated those couples of rounds the last few years, and has been one of our biggest fundraisers. I'm hoping that I'm going to sneak in there as the foursome someday here in this Congressional thing, because I'd really like to play Congressional someday.
Do you think the event was too short, too long, or just right?
The event was just right for what we do.
Last question. What items would you like to see on next year's auction?
Well, I would like to see maybe if we could get a few more parents involved, so that, you know, maybe we have some bigger ticket items. You know, some people that maybe have a condo, or, you know, have timeshares, and they donate. We've had some of those things in the past where they were donated, you know, and for a week, and people put up $400, $500, $600, $700, and then you get 3 or 4 big ticket items. Things start to multiply a lot quicker than, you know, $20 and $30 items. But, you know, hopefully some of those come through, and we'll get a few more of those in the future.